Slice is a brand of fruit-flavored soft drinks once owned by Pepsico that was introduced in 1984 and ended in the 2000s. It was reintroduced in 2018 by Suja Life.
Introducing a new soft drink with 10% real juice. New Slice.
We got the juice, and I see blast. A burst of juice in every glass.
7-Up doesn't have juice.
We got the taste, we got the twist.
Sprite doesn't have juice.
We got the juice, the others miss. We got the juice, we got the splash. Slice, slice, we got the taste that no one has. New Slice, we got the juice.
Diet too.
Slice, slice.
The soda aisles was a battleground. Coca-Cola and Pepsi were locked in the infamous Cola Wars, throwing millions of dollars into taste tests and celebrity endorsements. But by the mid-1980s, a new front had opened. Consumers wanted something crisper, something fruitier. Coca-Cola had Sprite and 7-Up had 7-Up. Pepsi's own product, a drink called Team, was languishing at the bottom of the charts, and Pepsi needed a wild card. Slice entered the market on June 28, 1984, positioned as a fruit-forward soda at the time when the lemon-lime category was crowded and predictable. Introduced by PepsiCo as the replacement for Team Soda, Slice was meant to compete directly with Sprite and 7-Up, but with a clear point of difference. It contained real fruit juice, 10% in the original lemon-lime formula, and that fact sat at the center of its identity. Pepsi leaned hard into it, using the juice as both a flavor distinction and a marketing hook. The slogan said it plainly, "We got the juice." That framing shaped how Slice stood out on the shelf in 1984 and how it tends to be remembered now. The timing turned out to be perfect. This was the mid-1980s, and people were starting to glance at labels and notice ingredients, even if it had not changed many habits yet. The juice thing hit home. It made Slice appear healthier, even if it was still a soda loaded with sugar and sitting next to all the other sodas on the shelf. Perception helps move product, and Slice had it. Slice was an overnight phenomenon. By May of 1987, it had captured an impressive 3.2% of the massive U.S. soft drink market. It was so successful that it forced competitors to react, prompting Coca-Cola to aggressively push the Minute Maid orange soda and Cadbury Schweppes to ramp up Sunkist. Test markets in places like Rochester, New York, and Tulsa, Oklahoma showed that people really did prefer a carbonated drink with juice in it. According to the articles from the time, Pepsi's research indicated that 75% of regular lemon-lime drinkers would choose a carbonated beverage with juice if given the option, and this put some wind in their sails. They expanded the line in 1986, adding mandarin orange, apple, and cherry cola flavors, all with diet versions. Each one had the same 10% juice content and the same promise that you were getting something a little bit better, a little bit more real. Slice showed that there was money in the juice adjacent soda idea. Coke and Cadbury already had the fruity brands in the distribution. Once they decided to compete directly, Slice lost the advantage. For kids growing up in this era, Orange Slice became the crown jewel of the brand. It was bright, incredibly sweet, and felt distinctly more premium than its rivals. By the summer of 1988, just a year after hitting that high point, Slice's market share had dropped to around 2%. The New York Times had reported in an article in July of 1988, calling it a case study in how difficult it is to create a new consumer brand, especially when competitors can just copy what you're doing and have bigger market budgets to back it up. In response, Pepsi started making changes. The juice content was quietly reduced. Packaging that used to say 10% fruit juice now just said with fruit juices, no percentage mentioned. The slogan changed too, from the confident "we got the juice" to the more defensive "either you got it or you don't," which felt like a boast, or more like Pepsi trying to convince people that Slice was still cool. The apple and cherry cola flavors were discontinued around this time because they were the most low-performing flavors. By 1990, Pepsi had redesigned the packaging again and dropped the juice content entirely. At that point, Slice was just another flavored soda, no different from Crush or Fanta, except for the name. They tried to expand again, adding grape, strawberry, pineapple, and fruit punch to the lineup. They even brought in Fido Dido, a sunglasses-wearing cartoon character that was associated with 7-Up in international markets, to be the mascot. The new slogan was "Clearly the One," which sounded good but didn't mean much. By this point, Slice was coasting on name recognition and whatever shelf space it could hang on to. The cans themselves went through a string of redesigns that mirrored how unsettled the brand had become. The original green can, most closely associated with lemon lime, gave way to 1994 to those black cans with loud, colorful fruit graphics. They were kind of cool, very 90s, but they also marked a shift away from the clean fruit-first identity. In 1997, the look changed again, this time to blue cans with swirl graphics, and even the flavors started to wobble. Mandarin Orange was renamed Orange Citrus with the slogan, "It's orange, only twisted," and then quietly reformulated again and returning to being Orange Slice. It felt less like refinement and more like Pepsi trying different ideas without committing to any of them. By the summer of 2000, the lemon lime version was replaced in most markets by Sierra Mist, which was to go national a few years later. Other Slice flavors lingered into the mid-2000s before being folded into Tropicana Twisted Soda, and after that, Slice largely disappeared from American shelves, even as the name lived on elsewhere, most notably in India, where it was repositioned as a mango drink under the Tropicana Slice label. By 2005, the remaining fruit flavors were largely phased out, replaced by Tropicana Twister Soda, and by the late 2000s, Slice was officially discontinued in North America. For years, it existed solely as a Walmart-exclusive budget brand or as a mango-flavored novelty drink overseas in countries like India. For a while, you could still find Slice at Walmart. In 2006, Pepsi tried one more time with something called Slice One, a diet version sold exclusively at Walmart in orange, grape, and berry flavors, sweetened with Splenda, but it didn't last. And by the late 2000s and early 2010s, Slice disappeared from Pepsi's product locator entirely. The name did get revived eventually. In 2018, New Slice Ventures acquired the trademark and relaunched Slice with a new formula, including prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic ingredients. It was a completely different product aimed at a very different market. Beyond the name, it had just little connection to the original soda, though the fact that it was brought back at all suggests the brand still carried some residual recognition. They intended to relaunch it with a lower sugar, lower calorie beverage sweetened only with USDA certified organic fruit juice. In December of 2018, New Slice Ventures announced that its Slice branded products had become available for wholesale pre-order in 4 distinct flavors: raspberry and grapefruit, blackberry, mango and pineapple, and apple and cranberry. In late 2022, New Slice Ventures rebranded the product into a retro style and released 4 new flavors: orange, lemon lime, cherry, and berry. The product is available in a variety of retail stores as well as at the brand's website. In 2025, Slice was relaunched as Suja Life with a new formula including prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic ingredients. The soda's original flavor lineup consists of lemon lime, orange, cola, and grapefruit flavors. Current flavors also include strawberry, grape, apple, watermelon, pineapple, cherry cola, root beer, ginger ale, Shirley Temple, and Pacific Pop. 40 years after its original debut, Slice is back on supermarket shelves. It still boasts the same iconic flavor profiles, but with a fraction of the sugar. No high fructose corn syrup and a blend of gut-friendly prebiotics. The story of Slice is a perfect mirror of consumer culture. It started as an attempt to make soda real, fell victim to mass market cost cutting, and now has been reborn to fit a world that values wellness over high fructose corn syrup. Whether you miss the sticky sweet black cans of the 1990s, I know I do, or enjoy the modern functional fizz, one thing is undeniable. Slice managed to do what very few retro sodas ever accomplished. It actually survived. So what do you remember about this iconic drink? Leave a comment below and hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe to Eric C. Productions. I'm bringing back memories from the good old days. Thanks for watching.